Hi, you guys. Discussion for today's titled General Radio Broadcast Equipment Maintenance. In a general term, maintenance refers to any technical work on equipment. It can be classified into three areas, namely 1. Troubleshooting, 2. Routine or preventive maintenance, and 3. Updating / modification. That is, updating technical details on the equipment being discussed. In this session, we will be starting with the troubleshooting aspect of maintenance. Troubleshooting may be defined as the application of general and specific knowledge to a technical problem to solving the problem after collecting relevant data. It involves the following. 1. The application of general knowledge, which requires a general understanding of basic electronics, how components work, and how they work in circuits. It also requires specific knowledge. For efficiency, it requires a reasonable, good understanding of the particular system and its equipment components. It also requires a systematic approach to solving the problem. That is, there should be a definite routine through procedures in search for the fault, rather from jumping from one step to the other and not being methodical. Now, data collection involves the step to collecting data from the equipment staff, particularly those that work on the transmitters. And of course, transmitter readings as could be read off the meters in front of the transmitter before the fault occurred. With all the above, a rational judgment will have to be made to have the problem solved. Now, there are 2 degrees of troubleshooting. The first one is short-term troubleshooting, which when a problem occurs on the station will require immediate action. And of course, that will be saying time is of essence. Units could be bypassed or replaced with a spare unit to keep the station on air. For long-term troubleshooting, for this class of troubleshooting, time may not be critical, as the defective component or repair work could be addressed later at a relatively slower pace. Now, we need some general information as regards troubleshooting. It's important under this heading to discuss the issue of panic. Panic can arise from the following sources. That is, the panic exercised by the average engineer or technology handling the repair. 1. It could be the excitable nature of the engineer. 2. It could be lack of a method. 3. It could be lack of basic electronics knowledge and the lack of specific knowledge of the faulty equipment. Now, talking of the excitable nature of the engineer, an engineer in panic can cause a wrong button to be depressed under pressure. This, of course, will cause more damage in the process. The average engineer or technologist should be able to develop a method. A method eventually helps the engineer find the cause of problems or the causes of problems and correct them. The method should be effective, efficient, and result-oriented. This should be reviewed from time to time against challenging technologies, which could be applicable to the equipment under repair. One method, of course, is when an equipment failure occurs. The technique to adopt is to take a mental step backwards from the equipment to be able to acquire objectively an approach to solving the problem. In this respect also, there should be a wide view taken of the components in the transmitter. That is a visual inspection of components, while using our senses of smell, hearing and touch to be able to identify any visible component that is affected. When one checks for loose connections, however, it should be done by the gentle wiggling of cables and other wirings, as bending of wires without care could of course cause some open circuits in the equipment under repair. Now, brain power reasoning should be brought to bear during a troubleshooting exercise. For example, finding a burnt resistor in a faulty circuit is just an indication of a problem in the associated circuit. The root cause of the problem should be identified. At the risk of repetition, equipping oneself for troubleshooting no doubt requires knowledge built up from basically three sources. 1. General electronics knowledge. 2. Practical knowledge obtained from work experience, presumably over the years. And 3. Specific knowledge, having worked on a similar or specific system which is being considered. Now, I'll stop at this point, while later we'll be talking about the routine maintenance that's carried out on transmitters, that should be carried out on transmitters, and of course updating knowledge on what to do on transmitters given the changing technologies. Thank you for now. Bye.
Subscribe to TradWS Broadcast Forum channel. Join our community for exclusive content. Click the button below to subscribe now.